I'm about to show you how to dominate your social media game without spending hours glued to your phone or computer. So, this isn't some fluffy demo. It's a well tested system that's going to crank out killer content for your Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram on autopilot. So, here's the deal most people are wasting their time trying to come up with fresh posts every single day. It's a grind and it's holding you back from the stuff that really moves the needle in your business. But what if I told you that you could have an AI working 24/7, pumping out content that sounds just like you? So, content that engages your audience, builds your brand, and keeps you top of mind, all while you focus on the big picture. I'm going to break down exactly how to set it up. So, we're talking about leveraging cutting edge AI to create a content machine that never sleeps. By the way, when we're done here, you'll have a system that's cranking out high quality posts every single day across all your platforms. So, no more writer's block, no more late night scheduling posts, just consistent, engaging content that keeps your audience hooked. So, if you're ready to 10x your social media efficiency and leave your competition in the dust, then buckle up. So, before we get started, I want to let you know that I created a free community group in Facebook that helps business owners use AI and automation in their own company. And I'll be posting free resources and helpful tips, such as a free guide that provides you with 5 free AI automations tailored towards your business's challenges and bottlenecks with a step by step guide on how to implement them yourself. Not only that, but you can network with other like minded individuals who are also using AI and automations in their business to save them time and money. So you can find the link for that down below in the description. So before we get started, I wanted to show the automation and what it looks like, and also the platform that we're going to be using this on. So this is make.com. It's very similar to Zapier if you've ever heard of that. But essentially, this is a low code and no code automation platform where you can just streamline your tasks. And it's often free, but if you're going to be using it a lot, I recommend upgrading your plan, upgrading your subscription. So essentially what this is doing is it's watching my Airtable, which is very similar to Google Sheets in that it's a CRM. So here's kind of what it looks like. And basically, whenever a new record gets added, so maybe a URL or just a thought, I then want AI and this automation to expound on that thought or that URL. So, for example, this is a link to a blog, and this is just I basically just said here, I want you to create a piece of content on AI for my business. And basically, what it's going to do is it's going to do research on that website, scrape all the information from there, and then create some fun and creative content pieces based off of that. So we're starting off with that Airtable. So whenever that record gets added, so maybe that URL, a new blog gets added to that Airtable, it's then going to have Perplexity just scrape that whole website and summarize its important pieces of data. So this is all going to come down to prompting. And if you want your content to sound like you, then you're going to have to prompt it to sound like you. So maybe you could find some old posts on your Facebook or give it some examples of how you want it to sound. And you're going to have to put that into your prompt. So I kept it pretty simple here. I said you're going to summarize the URL and or the thoughts. So there will be either one of the other or both. If there's a URL, then you must analyze the URL and summarize the URL. If there's anything in thoughts, then you must expand on it with specific data or details rather, and make it sound professional and ensure that the output provides an actual value to whoever may be reading it. So basically, it's just going to expound on that website. So we'll go ahead and pull up the website. Go ahead and copy that. So let me just skim this real quick and just show you kind of what it looks like. So it's including different nodes that one of the key takeaways is AI beats humans on some tasks, but not all. Generative AI investment skyrockets. So here's some of the information on this blog. And I basically just want to have AI create a content piece about it and then post it on my Facebook page, whatever. So once we get that result from Perplexity, then it's going to run 3 different ways. So this is what we call a router. And this router basically just splits the automation into different sections. So it can either go down to the Facebook route, the Twitter route, and then the Instagram route. So now we're going to get into how to actually build out this automation, and I'll be doing this step by step so you can just follow me along. So we're going to go ahead and go to make.com and click on your scenarios and create a new scenario. So once this loads up, the first thing you'll want to do is add a trigger. And this is the first thing that will happen in automation, and it's basically what starts the automation. So we're going to go ahead and search our CRM, which is Airtable, and we're going to be doing a watch records. So essentially, whenever I have a new URL or a new thoughts added, so I'll type in this here, then it will then start the automation. So I'm not going to actually run this right now, but just for demo sake. So basically we'll just have this trigger here, which is a watch record. So you can be using Google Sheets or whatever you would like, whatever CRM works for you and your team. So just for sake of the demo, we're going to be using Airtable because it's what I like the most and it's very user-friendly with Make.com. So to connect this to your scenario, you'll just have to go to add and you'll basically just log into your Google account or your Airtable account, whatever you're going to be using. Then you'll select where you'll find your base, so where your table is actually going to be. So I believe mine is called social media automation, so we'll just go ahead and click on that and then you'll find the table. So as you can see here, I just have one table. It's listed as table 1, so pretty simple stuff there. And then basically we'll just enter all the other drop downs. So the trigger field, which is going to be the date, so anytime a new date or new record essentially is added, it adds a date with it, and that's how it's going to track the new records. So we'll just go ahead and call the label field date. This part doesn't matter as much, and that's all for that section. So choosing where to start, we'll start from now on. So anytime from now on when a new record is added, so long as the automation is on, it will be running this automation. And I'm going to just go ahead and click on a new module, and we're going to be using Perplexity. So we'll go ahead and create a chat completion. And to connect Perplexity, you'll just go ahead and have to create an account if you don't already have one. And you'll basically just go to your settings, which you can find at the bottom here. Go to your settings and scroll to API, and you'll find in your setting your API key right here. So then you'll just paste that into your connection and you'll be connected to Perplexity. So let's go ahead and prompt this now. So I'm just going to be copying my prompt from earlier. So put the content in there. And like I mentioned earlier, this all comes down to prompting. So if you want this to do specific tasks or sound a certain way, maybe you want it to sound exactly like you, then give it some of your old social media posts or some different ways or examples to just show it how you respond to make all these posts in your tone of voice. So basically I just said create a viral post based off of the URL or thoughts that I'll be providing you later. So the post shouldn't be more than 1,600 characters. The post should always end with a good call to action. So I'm actually going to cut this down a little bit. So let's say no more than 1,000 characters. So the post should always end with a good call to action. Here's a good call to action, for example. And then I just added a link to book a meeting with me. And then I say, here's a summary of the URL and thoughts that you should make the post about. And here's the URL and here's the thoughts. So we'll go ahead and choose the role as user, and max tokens we'll just use 0 because that's the limit. So that looks good, and I want to run this now. So I may have to add a new record for this to run, but we'll see. Yeah. So let's go ahead and add that new record and run this once. So this will just take just a second and we'll go ahead and find our results. So once you click on this little bubble at the top, we'll go to output and you'll go to choices, go to the drop downs, find messages and message content, and here you can find your summary. So basically just saying unlock the power of AI in your business, and then it summarizes the article. So now we want to actually start posting this on our social medias. So to do that, we'll have to use a few different paths. So to set these paths up, we're going to be using a router. So it's going to go along the Instagram path, the Facebook path, or the Twitter path. So let's go ahead and use ChatGPT. So we're going to go ahead and create a completion with ChatGPT. I'm going to copy our prompt from earlier. So go ahead and copy this. And we're going to be using the new ChatGPT 4.0 model. And just because it's the most newest and it's probably the best out there. So we'll go ahead and use user as the role and the message content like we did earlier. We're just copying. So basically what I'm saying here, and keep in mind, this all comes down to prompting. So how your post is going to look like is how you prompt it right here. So we're going to say create a viral tweet based off of the URL or thoughts that I'll be providing you later. So we'll actually go ahead and say based off of the summary I'll be providing you. So here's some examples of how the output should look like, but don't copy them. Just use them for references to build your own tweet. So I just gave it some examples of how I want my tweet to actually look like. So, and then I gave it some context. So I said, you run a Twitter account that helps business owners use AI and automation to save time and scale their business. So obviously you're going to have to tailor it to what you do and what your social media page is about. So the details I just mentioned, don't make it more than 300 characters. Don't use words that sound robotic like AI or anything like that. And then include a call to action. So I can't emphasize this enough. If you want it to sound like you, then you have to prompt it to sound like you. So whether that's just giving examples or whatever the means is going to be. So then up at the bottom, I go ahead and give it a summary of the URL. So I said, here's a summary of the URL and thoughts that you should make the post about. So I'm going to actually delete that. And to find your summary, you're going to go ahead and go to Perplexity modules. So as you can see here, so you'll find under choices, message, and content is your summary. Not sure why that went there. Go ahead and move that down there. Let's try that again. Put in message content right there. Perfect. So there's the summary. As you can see here, it gives you a little glimpse of what it looks like. I could also expand on this and just make it bigger. But anyways, that looks good. Max tokens will do 1,000. So that looks good. And then this is for Twitter. So I wanted to create a tweet. So go ahead and find Twitter. And we'll do create a post. I may actually delete this for the time being, just so I could run it without actually posting on these socials and showing you what the results can look like. So next up, we're going to want to do this for Facebook. So we'll go ahead and do the same exact thing. You could either copy the module or just create a new one. So wait for this to load. Sometimes you have to refresh it or just reconnect your account. Cool. So we're going to be using GPT-4o again and adding in our message. So similarly, we're going to copy our prompt from earlier, choose the role. We're going to choose the role of a user and put in the message content here. So I wanted to create a viral post based off of the URL. So I actually messed up a little bit. So based off of the summary I'll be providing you. Awesome. And then I just said the post shouldn't be more than 1,600 characters. Let's go ahead and actually do 1,400. 1,400 characters. The post should always end with a good call to action. And then I provided an example of what that call to action should be. And then here's a summary of the URL and thoughts that you should make the post about. So we're going to have to go to Perplexity and find the result from the output that it gave. So doing the same thing, we're going to messages, the drop downs, and go to content. And this is the summary of that URL. So go ahead and click save. Choose the max token. So we'll do 1,000 again. And that is finished. And lastly, we're going to be doing this for Instagram. So same thing again. We're just going to choose the model, GPT, choose the role as user, and just copy the message content once again. So basically in this prompt, I said, as a digital marketing specialist, create an Instagram post about the following. Let's go ahead and say, about the following summarization of an article. Ensure the content is visually appealing and includes an inspirational message. Use emojis to enhance engagement and suggest relevant hashtags. Here's a summary of the article that I was referring to that you need to turn into an Instagram post. So we'll go ahead and change this to our results from Perplexity. So we'll go to choices, messages, content, and there's our summary. Next, we'll go ahead and put in tokens. So we'll just do 0 because 0, if you input it as 0, it's going to do the limit. And I want to see its best result possible. So for Instagram, because it's it's a platform based on pictures, we wanted to actually create some pictures for us. So to coincide with the caption, we'll go ahead and actually use ChatGPT to use AI to generate an image. So instead of create a completion, we'll just go ahead and generate an image from here. So the model is going to be model DALL-E 3, which is their best and most recent model. So we're going to copy our prompt from earlier, which is very simple. So we'll go ahead and go to prompt, and we said generate a photorealistic image about choices from, it's going to be from this little output right here. So we just said generate a photorealistic image about ChatGPT output, and then don't include words or text in your image, because sometimes when you ask it to include words or any sort of text, it does it in gibberish and it does not look good. So I highly advise you steer clear of that. So let's go ahead and test out what this actually gives us. So we're going to go ahead and save this, and make sure you're always saving your progress, because if you close out or you refresh, or maybe just something doesn't load properly, you'll lose all of your progress. So we're going to go ahead and create a new record. We'll give it that same URL. So we'll go ahead and run this. So it's going to do the same thing with Perplexity. Go ahead and wait a second for it to find that record. So it created that Perplexity output. So going down here again, you could find your output and what the result looks like. So here's that summarization of the article. And then as you can see here, it developed a tweet, a Facebook post, and an Instagram post. And the photo is generating right now, so we'll wait a second on that. But let's go ahead and check out what the tweet looks like. So here's the output result. So it says, unlock the power of AI in your biz. AI business process automation can transform your operations. So it can, one, automate routine tasks and scale up. It can boost revenue and cut costs, or enhance customer satisfaction. And then here's the call to action, which is DM or reply automate for a free guide. And then it just includes some hashtags. So all this information is fed off of the website that I gave it, or the article rather. So I'm not going to actually connect this to Twitter or anything, but I'll show you what that looks like in a second if you actually wanted to proceed. So let's go ahead and check our result from Facebook. So we'll go ahead and go to the output at the bottom, go to choices, go to the drop downs, click the message and content. So here's our Facebook post. So basically it's just saying unlock the power of AI in business process automation. So it says the latest AI index report is out, and it's clear AI is revolutionizing business process automation. Here's what you need to jump on the transformative technology now. And then it provides some key takeaways, which are straight from the website. So as I pointed out earlier, some of the summarizations from the website. So AI beats humans on some tasks, but not all. So here's all the different key takeaways, and those are basically just now in this output right here. So let's go ahead and move on to Instagram and find our choices. Go ahead and go down, and this is what our caption is going to look like. So unlock the power of AI in business process automation, and then even added all these little emojis just to make things look a little more succinct and organized, and just aesthetically pleasing. So it includes some more context and some hashtags as well, which is very important for Instagram. So now that we have this DALL-E generated image, we're going to go ahead and go and click on it. So we'll go into the output, go to data, click on the drop downs. So here's the prompt that I gave it, and it gives it into a URL. So we're going to go ahead and click on this URL and see what it looks like. Oops. So I'll put this input and put this URL in. So basically it just says unlock the power of AI business automation. So I told it not to say any text, so sometimes you'll have to prompt it a little bit better than what I did. So like I said, prompting is so important. So overall, I think this is a fine picture that I could post on my Instagram. I more so want them to focus on the text. So now we're going to go ahead and connect this to our Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. So go to Twitter. And what you'll do here is just create a post. So you'll just have to connect your Twitter account. So you'll actually have to go into the developer part of the website and find your authorization token and your API token. And from there, you can connect your make.com to your Twitter account to actually start posting for you. So then we'll just put our text content in. So this is going to be our last result. So there it is. Put the text content there. Now we want to do this for Facebook. So Facebook's a little bit easier to connect to. All you do is just log into your account and then it'll be connected to make.com. So we'll go ahead and go to Facebook pages and create a post. You could also create a post with photos if you would like, but we're just going to be doing create a post for now. So we'll select my page and include our message. So we'll go to ChatGPT, go to messages and find our content there. Click OK. And now we want to add our Instagram. So Instagram for business. And we'll just create a photo post. So for the, once this loads in, so connect it to my page and you'll find the photo URL. So you'll find that from right here. Actually, I just put it straight into my URL. So we'll just copy that. So here's the photo URL. And then for the caption, you'll find your output from Instagram. So this was called GPT-8. So we'll find the GPT-8 module, go to caption. So here's GPT-8, go to choices, message, and content. And there's our caption. So I'm not actually going to run this because I don't want this to post on my personal pages. And that's it, the blueprint for a social media machine that really never sleeps. So if you're asking any questions to yourself, like it's too complicated, I don't have the time, what if it doesn't work for my niche, then feel free to book a one-on-one call with me, because as an AI automation consultant, I will discover exactly what bespoke solution your business needs and implement them for you. So you can find a link in the description down below for that. Now remember, while your competition is burning the midnight oil trying to come up with their next post, you'll be focusing on what really matters, which is scaling your business and crushing your goals. So this isn't just about saving time. It's about leveraging technology to create an unfair advantage. So it's about being everywhere all the time without sacrificing your sanity. So don't just sit there, actually take action, implement the system, and watch as you dominate your social media game like never before. So all you really have to do is just find a bunch of URLs or basically a bunch of articles and just put them into your CRM, and this automation will be running all the time for you. And with that being said, don't forget to join my free Facebook community where I post all sorts of free resources and value that may not be on my YouTube, and I'll see you in the next video.